Good evening, children. Nana Janet here. I'm going to read you a story. So how are you, Abraham, Chad, Aricha Mary, Maya Rose, and all the other little children? God bless you all. I've got a very quick story. It's from the 5-minute storybook. It's called The 3 Wishes. It is an English folk tale. There was once a poor fisherman who lived by the sea in a tumble-down old cottage. He lived with his wife, who was always grumbling, no matter how hard the fisherman worked. One evening, he threw the nets out for one last try before it grew dark. He had caught nothing all day. As he began pulling the nets in, the fisherman's hopes rose. The nets were heavy. When he hauled them in, there was only one tiny fish lying at the bottom. Then the fish spoke. The fisherman rubbed his eyes in astonishment. "Please throw me back," said the fish. "I am so small. I would not make much of a meal for you." But the fisherman was tired and hungry. "Even though you are small, I cannot throw you back. My wife would not be pleased if I came home empty-handed," he said with a deep sigh. "I will grant you the first 3 wishes made in your cottage if you let me go," said the fish. "But I should warn you that wishes do not always give you what you really want." Well, the fisherman did not hear the fish's warning. All he heard was the bit about 3 wishes, and he thought finally that his grumbling wife would have whatever she wanted. So he carefully untangled the tiny fish from the nets and placed it back in the sea. With a flick of its tail, the fish disappeared, deep, deep, deep underwater. The fisherman came home and told her all about the tiny fish. But instead of being pleased, she just shouted at him as usual. "Trust you to believe such a thing! Whoever heard of a talking fish? You must be daft!" And she slammed down a plate of dry bread and a rind of cheese in front of the poor fisherman. "Oh, I wish this was a plate of fine sausages. I'm so hungry," said the fisherman wistfully. No sooner were the words out of his mouth than there was a wonderful smell, and there in front of him was a plate of sizzling sausages. He was delighted, and he reached for his knife when his wife yelled at him, "Why couldn't you have wished for something better? We could have had chests of gold and fine clothes to wear." And this from the woman who'd refused to believe his story only a few minutes before. "You stupid fool! I wish the sausages were at the end of your nose." There was a ghastly silence as the wife looked at her poor husband. Hanging from the end of his nose was a great string of sausages. The fisherman remembered what the fish had said. The first 3 wishes made in the cottage. The fisherman and his wife pulled at the sausages, but they were stuck. There was nothing for it. They would have to use the last wish. "I wish the sausages would disappear," said the fisherman sadly, and they did, in a flash. So there they sat, poor fisherman and his grumbling wife, No delicious supper of sizzling sausages, and much worse, no magic wishes. The fisherman never caught the tiny fish again, and his wife never stopped grumbling. Wishes do not always give you what you really want. Be careful what you wish for, children. Alright, good night. Love you all. Bye bye. Nana Janet here. Bye bye.